So recently I took a trip to Lake Oahe, and it really wasn't what I was expecting it to be. The whole reason I went up there was to try and chase down some of those big walleye that have been getting caught up there, 15, 14, 13, mostly 11, 10 pounders, which any angler would go up there if they wanted to, or if they ever had the opportunity to. We went up there, and a few days before, well, not a few days, we've been watching the weather, and it looked all right. 10, 15 mile an hour winds, 40 to 50 degrees. It was okay. It was doable. But maybe 3 days beforehand, it kind of changed, and it was talking maybe 15 to 25, cooler weather, like 35 to 40, and still decided to go up because it's giant walleye. You don't get very many opportunities at that. But we went up there, and the first day we got out on the water was chaos. We're talking 3-foot waves, 30, 40 mile an hour wind gusts. I mean, we ended up getting out of the wind, but we didn't catch anything the first day. But all we did see was a crap ton of bait. And over that whole trip, we used a whole lot of baits. We used Rapala gold miners, we used Rapala deep tail dancers, we used hit sticks, we even used deep walleye bandits, all the hot hitters. But we didn't get skunked. We did catch one, which I think that counts for something, even though he was like 10 or 11 inches. The whole main thing that you would hear up there that they're catching them in is anywhere from 30 to 40 foot of water, just because that's where the bait was all held up, and the bait gets all balled up. And we seen a whole lot of that. We seen a lot of bait balls and a lot of marks underneath them, but the walleye were tight-lipped. They just did not want to bite at all. And I think that's just a good thing to know, that no matter what trip you take, or no matter how much excited or even how prepared you are for the trip that you're going on, it's never going to be a guarantee. I mean, we had everything ready to go. We had trolling rods, we had snap weights to get the baits down to where they needed to be, and then we had, the bait, the gold miners, the hit sticks, the bandits, everything that they were hitting on. But that whole trip, we didn't get anything. I mean, we had even found some deep underwater trees that were sitting anywhere from 60 to 70 foot of water, and we were live scoping off of them, and there were a few fish sitting down there by the trees, but we threw our shiver minnows down there, and they didn't seem too interested in it. Now, granted, I will say the weather definitely was not a help at all, which is unfortunate. And that always is an unfortunate thing, and it always brings down the mood. You're excited to take a trip, and all of a sudden the weather turns on a dime on you, and then it turns your weather and whole trip to crap, basically. Because Saturday morning we were getting snow, and from atop the resort we were staying at, you couldn't even see the river. It was just snow. It's just kind of the luck of the draw, really. I mean, it's up to the fish at the end of the day. And no matter how prepared you are, what you have, whether it's the snap weights for walleye, or if you're smallmouth fishing, you're fishing for striped bass, or even if you're bluegill fishing for that matter with a bobber, I mean, if they don't bite, they don't bite. And it could be the perfect conditions. You could have all the bait, you could have beautiful weather, and they still wouldn't bite if they didn't want to. I never really heard any other YouTuber say, oh, we went on a trip and didn't catch anything. Most of the time they don't think that's really good for content, which, I mean, guaranteed, recording nothing and catching nothing, yeah, that's a waste of content. But I'm saying that sometimes they go on several trips. Like this one, I thought this trip was going to be a good one. I really did. And it ended up being a bust, but there's always next fall, so the chances are always there. You just got to pray and hope that the gear that you have is going to be the stuff that they want. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not mad. We got next fall, and I mean, we got ice fishing coming up in the winter, and then we have a whole new year coming, 2026, which I think is going to be a pretty good year. I won't lie, for fishing. I don't know why, I just kind of have a feeling, but of course, we know how well that went last time when I had a good feeling, which was the last trip, and that didn't work out too well. But I think next year is going to be a good year, and we have a fall next year when the walleye come back up for that bait. So the chances are always there. You just got to know when to take it and hope for the best. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.